I don't think it's a little early for a burger for Governor Christie, but I think he's over in the machine shack as well, where John Karl has been with those voters this morning. Governor Christie, thank you for joining us again this morning. The latest poll in Iowa has you at 3%. How are you going to improve that over the course of the day?
Well, listen, I think we've improved it over the course of time, and it's going to continue to improve tonight. Fact is, what I've wanted all along is to come out of Iowa as the #1 governor. Poll shows that I will be the #1 governor if results come the way they are. I think we'll overperform what the poll's done. But when you look at how much Jeb Bush has spent in this state, how much time and money he spent, that we're polling ahead of him here in the last day is a good sign for our campaign, and even better sign as we move ahead to New Hampshire.
The old saw is that there are only 3 tickets out of Iowa. You think that's wrong this year?
Of course it's wrong. There's never been this many candidates who got to the starting line. So, if there's 3 tickets when there's 7 people, there's got to be more tickets when there's 12. I don't think that's it. I think Iowa and New Hampshire will be seen as kind of an exacta. They'll be read together this time, and that's what will help to cull the field down to probably 4 or 5 by the time we leave New Hampshire next Tuesday.
You said last night that Donald Trump is going to bring himself down. I asked Mr. Trump about that this morning. It seemed to hurt his feelings. He said you guys used to be friends.
We are friends, but we're running against each other. And if I get asked a question about him, I'm going to give an honest answer the same way he would do it about me. So believe me, I know Donald for a long time. His feelings don't get hurt that easily.
But how do you explain, though, what has been happening all year long, at least in the polls? No one has voted yet. You talk about the governors. You had a lot of experienced governors here in this Republican race, but it's the outsiders, Donald Trump and to some extent Ted Cruz, who seem to be outpacing you.
Well, first off, George, I'm a little offended by calling Ted Cruz an outsider. He went to Princeton, Harvard. He clerked at the United States Supreme Court, worked for the federal government, and then had a government job in Texas. Hardly seems to me to be an outsider. So let's stop with calling Ted Cruz an outsider. And as for Donald Trump, like you just said, no one's voted yet. So let's see what happens when people actually vote. I'm going to be fascinated to see what happens tonight, as I'm sure you are. And anybody who's been in this business for any period of time will be fascinated to see what happens. So let's wait and not draw conclusions based off polling. I remember back in 2004, everybody was getting ready to crown Howard Dean the next president of the United States, and I don't think that ever happened either.
Sounds like you're expecting a surprise tonight.
Not that I'm expecting a surprise, but I just don't think that, looking at these polls all year and the fact of how obsessed everybody gets about polls matters when people actually start to vote. Now that I'm within, 12 hours of people voting, I'll wait for the vote before I start reacting.
Well, Governor, good luck today. Good luck tonight. We'll see you out on the trail.
George, look forward to seeing you in New Hampshire. Thanks for being in Iowa today, and thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Okay, take care.